All right, so we have a yes/no data sufficiency question. A lot of times on data sufficiency yes/no questions, it's best to just pick examples. So I'm going to illustrate that with this question. It's a super quick, easy way to attack these, and it's pretty much foolproof. At least it gives you a very high confidence level that you're getting the correct answer. So we're asking the question, yes or no, is x divisible by 6? Yes or no? Okay, statement 1, x plus 3 is divisible by 3. Well, let's pick some examples of what x plus 3 could equal. X plus 3 could equal 3 or 6 or 9 or 12. And in these situations, so this is x plus 3, x would be 0 or 3 or 6 or 9 before you added 3 to it. So what happens when I look at these numbers? Are these all divisible by 6? 0 is divisible by 6, 3 is not, 6 is, and 9 is not. So what I find is that some of them are and some of them are not, which means this is insufficient because I get some of my examples coming up as a yes answer to x being divisible, and some of them are no. Looking at statement 2 on its own, x plus 3 is odd. Well, okay, let's look at what x plus 3 could be. X plus 3 could be 1, 3, 5, 7, and then x would be -2, 0, 2, 4. And if I look at this situation, I see that some of the answers are divisible by 6 and others are not. And so this is also insufficient. And we could have kept going on with this and said the next one is 9, and this would then have been 6. And so this would have been another divisible by 6 as a yes. But we were able to stop because we remember that 0 is divisible by every number. Now, to be divisible means you're a multiple of a number. So you can express a number that's divisible by 6 as 6 times some integer. And so if that integer was 0, that would still be a number divisible by 6. Looking at the two statements together, look at our original situation up here. How many of these numbers are odd for x plus 3? Well, we have this number here and this number here are both divisible by 3 when we have x plus 3 is divisible by 3, and then x plus 3 is also odd. What happens to the results of those numbers? Well, when we look at what x was 0 or 6, both of which are divisible by 6. And what we're finding out here is we're getting a consistent yes answer. And if I kept going with this, so the next example of an x plus 3 that's divisible by 3 would be 15, which means that x would have come from 12. And that is an odd x plus 3, which follows rule 2. And is that divisible by 6? Yes, again. So we confirm 3 examples in a row where we follow both statements and we get consistent yes answers to our question. So I'm pretty convinced that the answer here is C. And that's generally my rule of thumb. If I test 3 numbers in a row and they all work and give me a consistent answer, I assume that the answer is sufficient. And if I find that they give me inconsistent answers, I'm automatically insufficient. All it takes is one inconsistent answer to prove a question insufficient. It's much harder to prove a question or 2 statements are sufficient. But if we test numbers intelligently and we test consistent numbers in a row, we should find the things that cause the deviation. And if we don't get any sort of discrepancy, then I assume that it was sufficient and that we always do get yes answers.